This is Relationship Talks with Rick and Naaman. I'm Rick.
And I am the incredible DJ Blue.
And he's Naaman.
I am the incredible, most abominable DJ Blue.
So, Naaman, recently we dropped that episode. Last episode was...
Thank you, Shiloh.
Last
He corroborated my story of being the abominable man, the DJ Blue. That's right.
We did an episode talking about Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
And Eyes Wide Open, and kind of like dating intentionally and knowing what you get into when you're dating. I just kind of wanted to follow that up a little bit, talk about a couple of experiences that I've had recently, some things that kind of opened my eyes when reflecting on that episode.
Okay.
And it's a story that you're familiar with. It was somebody that I just say talk to. We kicked it when we first met. She wanted to be friends and be cool. I wanted to date. Okay. But we dated, and it would be like we were in a relationship, but then she would say, this feels too much like a relationship. And long story short, it's just a lot of back and forth. We doing that. My head got really messed up, and it's like I put it on me because I was trying to force something that shouldn't have been in the first place. Mm-hmm. So I recently reached out to her, and I was talking to her, and I was like, man, I'm really glad that, like, you were really right all along. Like, we were good friends, and we were good with what we...
You reached out and said that?
Yeah.
Why?
Among other parts of the conversation, I was just saying, like, you know, like I understand now. It's like we were good friends, and we, like, hanging out was cool. And like I believe we both found each other attractive and whatever, and we spent a lot of time together. But in a relationship, when you get in that relationship, those rules start to change a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know for a fact that her and I wouldn't have been compatible. And that's one of the things I said.
Which one you talking about? Which one?
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
That one that had me crazy.
That's a lot.
That's
a decent amount of people.
Am I usually crazy over women like that?
It seems that way.
Anyway, you know, but when you look at it, if I had been looking at stuff other than the initial chemistry, the initial infatuation, mm-hmm. I would have saw what she apparently saw. I mean, if I'd have looked past the buns.
The buns are a big factor. You have to look past the buns.
Definitely was a big factor. I would have been more aware of what was going on and that we weren't compatible in the ways that we would have need to be compatible to maintain a relationship.
For sure.
So blinded by attraction, I couldn't see the incompatibility. So just thinking about the last episode, mm-hmm. it's crazy. Even thinking about it in theory and then thinking about how it really went down. Just chasing something. I could equate it to candy is good, but too much candy is bad.
Okay.
It's certain things that
you were referring to this person as candy?
I mean, you know.
No, you can't refer to a person that was clearly toxic for you as candy. Candy isn't toxic for you.
If you eat too much candy, it's toxic.
But it is not necessarily toxic. It's the idea of something toxic is if you lick it, it'll kill you. That's toxic. Candy, if you overdo anything, if you take a Tylenol, like Cat Williams says, if you take too many of them, it'll be your last headache. So you can't really say. I'm gonna request and actually
take candy out.
I'm gonna advise. Yeah, you don't do candy like that.
Don't blame candy. I'm sorry, Candy.
So
Candy,
we need another.
I'll take your back, Candy.
I'm gonna help you.
Let's workshop this.
She was more of a nice car, right? She was a very nice car.
Okay.
And
where are you going with this?
Because the thing is, when you get that nice car, most people don't understand the responsibilities that come with a very nice car.
Okay.
And if that car is already bespoke to someone else, it has a lot of features and things like that were input in that car for someone else. But you wanted to drive that car because you thought it was yours and it was nice and it had really fat buns.
So you're saying I was trying to take somebody else's car?
You were trying to take somebody else's car knowing that car belonged to someone else and that car gave you hints that it belonged to someone else. It was kind of like Herbie the car, you know what I mean? That car that speaks to people. Whatever. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter.
Oh, Herbie.
Yeah.
I was thinking Kit from Knight Rider.
Same thing. That car was bespoke to someone. Mm-hmm. So that's basically what it is. Candy's different. You know what I mean?
I
You
don't
were
think-
driving
I don't
that
think
car, and you.
The specific car wasn't bespoke the whole time, but
It was though, and you know it was. And
No, I
you're
can't say
denying
that.
it. You're denying
I'm
it.
not
You're in
denying
denial. It's got to be some type of denial because I think that we all saw.
did we all see that?
I think that we all saw.
Me, you, and Dave, and
whomever
everybody.
knew about the situation, we all saw what you did not see.
I guess I was just had them filters on. I didn't see it.
We had discussions about that. We had discussions about things
possible.
that you were doing that you should not have been doing with that car.
I mean, the other thing about that,
peeling off in a parking lot, you could bust the transmission.
wow, that sounded very insinuative.
Was it?
Yeah,
We're talking about cars. How was it? I'm talking about the engines, the motors.
moving right along.
You park that car in your backyard and you're going to leave it there? No, it belongs to someone else. Someone else is going to come and rev that motor.
On top of that, I feel like in addition to just like the regular infatuation, I had just got out of a situation where I was with somebody for
That's
a long
like your
time.
life right now.
Right, of course.
Like, what?
It's
So,
a-
hold on.
I had just got in a situation where I had been with somebody for a long time, and it was kind of like I was using that. I was using this new situation to get rid of that old situation.
How many times have you done that? Like lately?
Twice.
That sounds like a small number
That's
in
like-
comparison.
Like that's twice in like 18 years.
Okay, so let's see. This car that you're talking about, let's
Uh-huh.
see. When you got away from that car, you kind of met another vehicle. That vehicle stayed and parked itself in your garage, and you didn't know the car was there. And then once you got out of that vehicle, you hopped in another vehicle, which
So you saying
which
so you saying the last 3 situations was that?
it seems like it.
I don't know. I feel
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
the last one I feel like was different. I don't feel like I was totally over one of them when I got with the other one.
See what I'm saying?
But that's the same situation as one.
But it's jumping from situation to situation, or I'm sorry, car to car, revving these motors, doing maintenance on these cars, and then you don't want to drive that thing for the rest of your life.
I guess that's why I'm kind of on a thing now where whoever I end up with at this next juncture of my
Whatever
life,
car you drive,
whatever car I drive, I'm going to do my research on that car, and I'm going to make sure that I know that car is for me.
check the Carfax or
Yeah, I'm be checking the Carfax. That's exactly
medical
it.
records. That's what my dad
Medical
told me.
records.
My dad told me something that was very only major thing that he said that I really resonate with. He said, if you meet a girl, make sure you see a few things. One, proof of citizenship. One is proof of citizenship, and 2, updated medical records. I think those are very valid points.
Updated medical records.
That's your Carfax.
That makes interesting sense. How do you bring that up, though? It's like, hey, we've been dating for a while. Let me see your medical records.
You say, hey, we've been dating for a while. Are you a hoe or no?
I don't think.
How many people have been owning this car before me? How many owners?
How many previous drivers?
How many accidents have you been into?
Just make sure when they give you your Carfax that you give them yours.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Woo.
I have lawyers that draw those things up.
Oh, do you?
It's
Fancy
not
now.
a big deal.
So do you feel like you've ever been in a situation where you were chasing something because it looked good, but
All
when
the
you
time.
actually
100% every day.
when you actually evaluate it, it's like, nah, that's not
Every
the
day.
move.
100%. I still chase them.
Why? What goes through your head?
Same thing that goes to your head.
I mean, I'm trying to.
Buns, Richard. Buns. No. No, I mean, I would say the logic is we often manipulate ourselves to believe things that aren't true, especially when it feels good or if it sounds good or even if it looks good. We manipulate ourselves to believe that it's good for us when in reality, like in your situation, you had doubts, reasonable doubts that it would not work. But you still, took different steps to keep it going.
And pursued them very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard. Pursued
So
her
it was
so hard.
The thing is, you manipulated yourself to see the good that was not there.
But I feel like that's a whole separate thing because I always try to see the good in people in general. But at a certain point, I'm learning now, it's like I really got to keep my eyes open to make sure that I'm not just so focused on the positive things that I overlook all the red flags.
I agree. I think that seeing the good in someone is fine, right?
Right.
And you can see the good in many people, but when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's important to see everything.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, the ugly. It's important to see those things, because if you don't, you'll end up in a situation where so you didn't tell me you had a boyfriend.
Right.
Hey, how long were you going to be at my house before you told me that was your dude texting you? You know, stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'm saying, like, those are concepts that would possibly happen if you only look at the good.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, technically your eyes would be wide shut.
My eyes were wide shut. And that's,
but open to the buns.
It's just so much that really goes into this thing when you're really trying to get to know someone, and there's so many factors that can factor in, and just kind of taking it a little bit slower now, with the people, the women that I meet now, I kind of take it a little bit slower and let them know right away. It's like, hey, I want to get to know you.
I want to get to know you, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, is that what you was thinking?
You talk about that? Is that G Unit and Joe?
Joe and what's his name? That one guy that
Young
used
Buck.
to be.
Was it Young Buck?
No, not Young Buck was in it.
Lloyd Banks.
Yes, Lloyd Banks.
Yeah.
I want to get to know you. That's the jam. Yeah. So that's what you say?
It's like song? I want to get to know you, and it's like I'm not. Even being on these dating apps, I'm thinking it's like, like it's cool. I want to apps. Yeah, it's like I want to meet.
You trying to meet multiple women.
I'm trying to meet women, and I'm trying to get to know these women.
You trying to complete the fifth element?
No.
Earth, fire, wind.
It's not even like that.
Stay away from Aries. Just a little advice. Stay away from Aries.
It's not even like that.
They like to intentionally break hearts. Just helping you.
Oh, thank
helping you figure that out.
It's like, hey girl, what's your sign? No, so it's kind of like now the way that you approach the conversation is like, like, hey, I'm really just at this point in time, I'm looking for a good conversation, and I want to get to know you. And if something comes from us getting to know each other, then it comes. But not trying to force a relationship because I'm cute, you cute. Let's get together.
Who said you were cute though?
I mean, I am cute.
By what standard? Shiloh? Like, what are you comparing yourself to?
You know I'm cute.
I know you're cute.
Yeah.
By what standard? Because I've never said that. I've never even given you the impression that I felt that way about you.
Well, I'll put it like this. Enough people have given me the impression that I feel like I can say that I'm cute.
I say Shiloh's cute. And if you think you look like Shiloh, then cool. You get that impression that you may be a little handsome based on the fact that you look like a tiny dog.
I don't look like a tiny dog. What?
That was insulting. But it is not as insulting as it sounds. I swear to you.
Right.
I swear to you. Shiloh's very strapping. He's a handsome young puppy.
I don't know. Some people will try to change things in your life when they come in.
Then they get out.
Yeah, I guess that's how that works.
That's pretty much how that works. If anybody comes into your life and tries to change something, then they need to leave. like really, no, that's how I feel. Like, if you come into my life and you see some things that you feel like need to be changing, go ahead, try and change those things. And while you're trying to change those things, let me know how my house looks on the outside.
Do you think that you can truly be in a relationship with somebody and it's two people coming together without having to make any kind of changes or recalibrations?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. That's why you get to know someone. You get to know people. You let them know, hey, I like big buns, okay? When I see you, and I cannot lie. If I see you and those buns are out, if you're in the kitchen, I'm going to smack one. She has a problem with that, then she needs to leave immediately because that's how I am. If I say, hey, I like candy, all right? So occasionally there's candy in my house. There's candy in my car, maybe. If you have a problem with that and you don't like sweets, then either you just say, hey, I don't like sweets, but I'm not going to stop because, the sweets are bad for you, boy. They're bad for you. I don't know why I get that Louisiana
I don't know what.
The sweet, they're going to give you the bad sweet tooth.
I don't know. It sounds like Jamaican and it's like 5 accents in one. Like, I don't know.
It's like, I don't know. I have to figure that out. However, the point I'm trying to make is.
You really been riding for candy this episode. I just want to let you know.
Well, I mean, I think candy is a pivotal relationship point.
So
I think
look
it
at
should
this.
Be a part of the relationship.
I got something for you then. So thinking about that, you are who you are when you meet somebody, and even if you find somebody who you can accept who they are and they can accept who who vice versa.
For sure.
There are certain things that might end up changing. So think about it. You're married to somebody and this woman cares about you. She loves you.
Okay.
And you go to the doctor and your blood sugar is high.
Okay.
And you're pre-diabetic.
Okay.
And you just like smashing this candy. Like at that point, that person is supposed to, it's not mandatory, but in a good relationship, that person would want to enhance your life. So she would I would imagine that she would try to help you to ease off of the sugar and exercise to make sure that it doesn't get any worse to where you can't reverse it.
Right.
So in that particular case, it's an enhancement.
What do I do?
What would you do?
In that particular case, that's fine. But my whole thing, when I say change, it comes from a point of, hey, your blood sugar is really high, so I took the liberty of getting rid of all the sugar in your refrigerator. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of change I'm talking about that's not appropriate.
Oh, you think that wouldn't be appropriate?
That's not appropriate. What do you mean? Do I think that is not appropriate? If somebody comes into your house and says, hey, Richard, we want you to stop being an old man. Here's some actual food. Here's some meat. We're going to put meat in your refrigerator.
Why are you throwing shots at Richard? What did Richard do?
I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying. Wouldn't that be inappropriate if they said, hey, you know what? We're going to have to get you some protein in your diet. You're not taking enough vitamins. So I took the liberty to put some steaks in your refrigerator.
Some steaks.
I'm just saying, would that be appropriate for you or no?
From what I'm gathering,
or no?
From what I'm gathering,
or no?
From what I'm gathering, the problem isn't the enhancement or them trying to help you.
That's not enhancing.
It's the way that they're doing it. If you're struggling with something.
That's not that we're not talking about struggling. I just asked you a very specific question. If somebody came to your house, Richard, you, the man I'm in front of that reminds me of Shiloh.
Oh my
if someone comes to your house and goes into your refrigerator, loads it up with tons of meat product, okay?
Right.
That you clearly do not eat.
Not at all.
And they told you, I did this because you need to start eating meat. And we talked about this. You're not taking your vitamins. This has to happen. And they were really stern with that. I asked, would that be appropriate for you or no? That's not an enhancement.
No, that wouldn't be appropriate.
Exactly.
But in a particular case that we were talking about, I was saying your wife. So that's your refrigerator.
Still, the thing is, if she's with me, she knows how I am. So you would automatically know what my triggers are. Just
that's
like I would know if her trigger, we're talking about hypothetically.
Right.
If that's a trigger, then that's a trigger. She would know that if she's my wife. She would have learned that by dating me at the beginning. Not that that's a no-no. Like, for instance, if she has triggers, hey, Naaman, don't poke me in the eye in the middle of the night. My bad. I like doing stuff like that.
Just poking her in the eye in the middle of the night.
Like, whatever. Like, I was just making sure you was alive. Like, it's not a big deal.
Just the eye, though.
Well, yeah, because they'll blink. It's not about me. The idea of it. The idea is whether it's appropriate or not as far as change. Like that's not an enhancement. That's more or less like, hey, I'm trying to change this without asking you because I think it needs to be done. That's what I'm talking about.
I see, Naaman.
It's not about actually requesting or asking you how you feel about it or saying, hey, can we try and make these types of changes because I'm worried about you, I care about you. Blah, 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 blah. No, I'm actually going to make the changes for you and then tell you to adjust.
I see where you're coming from.
Do you?
Yeah, I do actually.
That's weird.
Why's that weird?
I don't know. Shallow.
It's just so with anything, you just need that, hey, even if you're trying to help me, you need to approach it a certain way or I'm not going to be receptive.
Exactly. And that's anything. And that's especially when in relationships because it becomes abusive. Because if she does that, what if she goes in your closet and just takes out all of your yellow slacks? If you've got yellow plant, I'm just saying, if you've got, you like to wear pink stuff. So what if she's like,
what?
Richard, I'm no longer going to allow you to wear salmon. It's actually just pink. Okay. No more of this. And you're like, well, look, I really like to wear my salmon shirts on Sundays. And she just takes those away. So
I feel like the thing about it is with the example I gave, it was kind of more on the extreme side because when you talk about a possibly debilitating disease,
good job.
It's a difference between like clothes choice. So if you're in a relationship, once you're especially once you're married, your fate is tied to that other person. Your life. That's your life is not your own anymore. Your life is partially the person that you're with because You two rely on each other, and you two become one. So if something happens to you, if you die or if you get sick or you can't take care of yourself the way that you normally would, the thing about it is that it wouldn't just be a you thing. Part of those vows is that, through sickness and health. And so if you were to get sick, that would directly affect the woman that you were with.
True. But it's not.
So,
it's in
so I
sickness
feel
and
like,
health, not in sickness and in health, because you feel like I should be changing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a quick way to get divorced.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there has to be something, because in most situations, maybe I feel like, hey, you need to change. When I get home, those buns need to be up in the air and waiting for me.
Man, you and these buns.
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. But that's hey, you should. Every time I get home, I expect this because you need to change. You don't regularly do this. This needs to happen. If I'm already married to you and I'm talking to you like this, then that's a huge problem.
I feel you. I definitely feel like it's places where if you're trying to change certain things just because you don't like them, that's one thing. Like if the other person doesn't like them.
Yeah.
If it's something where, like, I think about just my friends, you know what I'm saying? And like, yo, like you eat salad and, maybe I don't get enough protein. And it's like.
You definitely don't. You like a freaking rabbit.
I take protein for that, I take vitamins for that too. But
so do bunnies.
But the thing is that, when one of my friends come to me and say like, hey, you should think about doing this or eating this more or trying this or try to ease certain things into your regular diet, then I'm not offended. I'm not offended by it, especially from the nature of it, because the people that care about you have a vested interest in seeing you be healthy and succeed and all of that good stuff, hopefully, if somebody really cares about you. So I don't have a problem with that, especially the person that I choose to be with whenever the next time I be with somebody. I would hope that they would want to enhance me in that way. And I would say enhance and encourage.
Enhance.
That's
a terrible word, bro.
Enhance. I mean, mean just help you to be better.
It sounds like a corporation or an object when you say enhance.
I don't know. It's just
you can't enhance a human. You can't do it, Richard.
You can.
You cannot. I'm sorry. That's. I want to ask. Let's ask our listeners. Can you enhance a human, or does it sound like an object or a business? You can't enhance someone. That's it. Sound because when you say
do
that,
you not understand what I say when I mean it, or what I mean when I say it?
What is your definition of enhance? Because that word means like to make. I guess better to upgrade.
To make better. Yes.
To upgrade.
To make better.
To upgrade. Not to make better.
No, you said it right the first time. Here,
no,
look, we got a whole computer right here. We can just look it up.
It's to upgrade. Enhance.
Look it up.
I think about a new arm. Like I've got this new enhancement that allows me to flip the bird really fast.
We about to look it up right now.
Look at that. Just flip the bird 300 times. You know
intensify, increase, or further improve the quality, value, or extent of. Okay, there we go. I thought it was more.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about the word.
So say that again. To
intensify, increase, or further improve the quality, value, or extent of.
Richard, put your name at the end of it, and I want you to hear how that sounds. Put your name at the end of it.
It doesn't matter how it sounds. The fact of the matter is that the definition is the definition, and the way that I'm using the word makes sense.
No.
You want me to find a synonym for it?
No, Richard. You use that particular word.
Amplify, magnify, boost, improve.
Those are better words.
But I mean, it all means the same thing. If you just have a problem with the word is the word. But all I'm saying is, and whatever the word is, that's not even the point. The point is that if I'm with somebody, I want to help them to be a better version of themselves. You want to
enhance them.
Yes, and I want them to be help me to be a better version of myself. Why is that funny?
You want to enhance them. You don't want to complete them.
No, you
don't
can't.
Want to compliment them.
You can so like if you complete somebody, that's saying that they weren't complete in the first place.
And if you want to improve them, that means that you're saying there's room for improvement.
There's always room for improvement.
But is that up to you to say? Is that up to your spouse to say to you that there is room for improvement?
I was like, who is saying that? But what relationship do you want to get in where you don't grow from a relationship, you just stay exactly the same?
But that should be your growth. I'm saying to you, I should not have my manager coming to me saying, hey, we're going to have to work on some enhancements.
I mean, that's what a manager should do, actually.
Yeah,
if you're talking about a
manager, not a spouse.
But honestly, you said a manager.
Exactly, so that you would correct me and say exactly what I was saying.
Ooh.
That's a manager, not a
Listen.
spouse. That's not your manager. They are to manage.
When was the last time you was in a serious relationship?
I don't know. Probably the last time you were in a serious relationship.
I was in a serious relationship this year.
This year, last year, the year before that.
Not the year before that.
Don't.
The year before that.
Don't. Look, don't. Okay.
So listen, what I'm saying is that whenever you with somebody, I don't want to be with somebody who's exactly the same as me.
Okay.
Because I know I'm me and I can handle myself that way. And if I meet somebody that's the same, it's not going to be any give or take. You know what I mean? It's just, we're just going to agree. When you have somebody that's different in ways that you aren't different, and you guys get together, you guys push and pull each other, not in a negative way, but you help each other to grow, and you help each other to see things from a different point of view. Mm-hmm. And that's more so what I mean. It's like, like I can fold my own laundry, like I could pay for my house, my car. I can do all these things myself. But if I have somebody who comes that I get with
comes already in hand.
Comes with me. Because if I get
hopefully that's what's happening.
If I get when I get into a relationship, maybe the thing is, it's like I do my laundry this way and they have a different way to doing laundry and they show me a different way and it's like, oh wow, like yo, I could have been doing it the old way, but this is a much better way and the clothes smell better.
I would advise you to use a different terminology than enhance.
I mean,
and can I make the advice?
If you
as
understand
the DJ Blue,
what the word means.
So as the DJ Blue, I think I can say something to you that would help you get through
help us
and further you. What I'm saying, I think a better word, and I agree with you on the enhance thing, so I'm not disputing that. I think a better word would be motivate.
Okay. Whatever word it is, as long as you understand the meaning of it, go for it. Yeah, please.
Because honestly, for me, and this is just personal, for me, enhancement sounds like, hey, I can enhance you. Let me enhance you. You see what I'm saying? If you say that to, like, if I tell you, Richard, let me enhance you, man. If you say, I can motivate you. I just want to motivate you, and I want to basically just help you drive. I want to see you successful. The enhancement part is the word that I think is a bad word.
But when you're in a relationship, you're not going into a relationship saying like, hey, I'm going to enhance you. That's just something that naturally happens. When you can talk about a relationship, we're talking about it. That's not how you would say it in a relationship.
I disagree.
Well, agree to disagree.
I'm going to motivate you to be better, Richard.
You motivate me to want to poke my eyes out.
I would call that an enhancement. Yes. That would technically be because you would poke them out. That's an enhancement. Wow. See what I'm saying?
Way to go.
You see what I'm saying, Richard? You see how bad that sounds?
You've officially driven me crazy.
I motivated you to go crazy. I motivated you. And it was an improvement. I am motivated.
So, Naaman, I got a little bit of food for thought for you.
Okay.
So, thinking about all the dating and stuff, being back on dating apps, like dating apps wasn't always a thing, but when we both were around when like the internet really started to pop where you could meet people online, what was the first website that you met someone from in person, whether romantic or otherwise? In person, that you met them online initially.
MySpace.
And then?
MySpace.
Tell me about that.
No.
Okay. So moving right along.
So, I mean, that was actually the person I was in a relationship with for a long time. I mean, it was an interesting situation. I mean, honestly, I hadn't talked to anybody. I had reached out and talked to some people, but don't even know why she chose me. But it was a reason why she chose me because I ended up talking to her for a long time. So, yeah, it was a cool situation at first. I mean, she's okay.
How did that even go? How, like, with MySpace, how was that a romantic thing? Like, did she just inbox you. Did they have messages on my? I don't even remember MySpace.
Yeah, it was just like any social media. It's like Facebook. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
You have a wall, you have a page, you have your direct messages. Same thing, same concept.
Did you approach her or she approached you?
I don't remember, but I think maybe I like liked something, or I really don't know. Like I honestly can't remember. I think she added me just randomly. Like she saw me on there. I cannot remember.
Yeah, it's crazy how those
Then we started talking.
work.
She said hello. I said hello, and then we started talking.
just snowball.
I asked her. I remember one specific thing I asked her, and that's what kind of put me in the game. I asked her. I said, "Would you be interested in rolling around in a barn but naked?"
Is that seriously what you asked?
I kid you not. And she was like, "Yeah, we were dating." Blah 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 blah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
All right, game on. I never did get to roll around in that barn though, and I'm really kind of upset about it.
So single ladies, if you're out there, Naaman is looking for someone to roll around in the barn, butt naked.
With hay and stuff around. I mean, we can roll. I'm cool with that. I mean, it doesn't have to be sexual unless I guess it happens. But just mostly friendly, rolling around butt naked with a lady friend. Everyone does that, I guess, from time to time.
It's normal, right?
This is weird, Richard. I don't see how you shouldn't have let me tell that story.
So the first person that I ever met off of a website, it was Black Planet,
Okay.
and we matched. I mean, it's not even matched because it wasn't dating. We
just
messaged
each other.
We messaged each other, and we would go back and forth, and we talked all the time, and it was really we talked for probably 7 months before we met in person, and it was just the weirdest thing. We like I said, we talked for 7 months, and we met, and once we only met the one time, we kicked it for a little while, and then it went back to phone conversation. She was in Canada, so it wasn't very easy for us to meet up anyway. But it was like weird. It's like, yo, I actually met you from online, and back then it was kind of weird because that wasn't a common thing. You didn't know if that was actually the person. Well, I guess that's a fact.
So, I mean, because those were just the sites that were used. But you have to understand, AIM was used
all the
time. AOL, Microsoft, those types of instant messengers. Ooh, those were the dating apps. That's when Chris Hansen was coming out of the closet. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. You said that you wanted to rub-a-dub-dub and scrub. No, I didn't. No, that was them.
You thought I was 14.
Right, you thought that I was 14. You said you wanted to grab my buns and cut my hair. I didn't understand.
I don't understand.
I don't understand that why you did that, but no.
The police are on their way.
The police are on their way. I'm Chris Hansen.
I've heard from some of our cousins were saying that like Instagram was like the new dating app, and one of our cousins in particular, like Snapchat is like that lick for him. I don't even understand how Snapchat works to be able to like, hey, met somebody on Snapchat.
It works because Snapchat is the easy way. Honestly, that's the chick I started talking to that I recently was in a relationship with. That was a situation. We started talking on Snapchat.
Really?
Snapchat is a secure way to contact people.
So how did she find you though?
We talked on Tinder. So Tinder was the first point.
Tinder
and then,
was, all right, I got you.
Because the thing is, you talk on Tinder, boom, boom, boom. And then when you don't want to use Tinder anymore, because Tinder, you get all those notifications and things like that, you go back on and you use Snapchat. And if you're already on Snapchat, you message them on Snapchat.
You don't want to do phone numbers?
Well, if you don't want to do phone numbers, Snapchat is the way to go.
Okay.
You can do that with a phone number, but the phone number is connected. They can call you from a different thing, and the phone number is connected to your name somehow.
I feel like nowadays,
so if they work for a phone store, they can find you.
Even more so than watching, more so than giving somebody your phone number. It's like, hey, what's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? Oh, here's my Instagram, and y'all start talking on Instagram, and you go on from there.
Same thing.
So like social media as a dating app now.
Social media is not necessarily a dating app. It's more of a communication tool.
I mean, true enough.
I mean, I would just say it's a form of communication for people who are dating. I wouldn't call them dating apps though.
Yeah, I got you. It's an app and you can date on it. But
exactly.
I mean, Facebook, I don't know if they still have that Facebook dating, but remember for a while they were doing that Facebook dating tab where they were trying to get people to date on Facebook?
Facebook has everything when it comes to dating. I remember that. It's like, what is it? Like dating? What is it? Dating swipe? Something. Dating love.
Like
when they were doing those little apps, they had applications that you could add onto your thing.
No, they actually had like a it was on the mobile app for a while. It was like
Dave
right in the
used
center.
it. Dave used. We have to get him on the on the horn and figure out what it was, because I know he knows what it was. But it was like some dating app. You click on Facebook to get to it, and then you click on it, and then you can see other people.
Is that the one where it was like
just like Tinder?
You would find people based off of who you were friends with. Maybe like your friends' friends and stuff like that.
I think so. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that was that. Like I said, I think now is just a form of communication. It's really no such thing as a quote unquote dating app, because even when you get on these stupid apps, you have people on there not looking for dates, just looking for friends. So it's like, why are you on a dating app then? Not looking for a relationship, just looking for friends. You crazy bimbo? Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you here? What's the point? I'm just looking for friends. Well, go to a coffee shop. Like, go to Baskin and Robbins. Get you 31 flavors. Or wait, is it 32 flavors? It's one of those.
31. So, ladies and gentlemen, you tell us, what was the first website that you met somebody off of? Or was it a website? Was it an app? Was it Instagram? Was it Snapchat? I guess it depends on the generation. Was it AIM? Was it AOL? Did you meet somebody from AOL?
Was it Pornhub?
Really?
I mean, you can DM people on Pornhub.
I mean, I feel like you should be sponsored by them. You talk about them all the time.
I don't.
You do.
It's in your search history.
It's not in my search history.
I searched your computer the other day. I'm not going to even tell everybody what I found.
You found nothing. One, you didn't search my search history.
BBW. BB had something on there. It was like BBW eating burgers. Like, I didn't know what that was. I was like, what is this?
Oh, yeah, that would be perfect for me, right? Because I want to see somebody eat meat.
It says like it like makes so much sense.
That makes total sense, yeah.
It was saying something like, and I'm trying to get the description right in my head. BBW's fully clothed eating meat.
Yeah.
Totally weird.
Jeez, that is weird.
Totally weird. But I mean, whatever. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to motivate you.
Well, as always, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. To be a part of the conversation, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Rick and Naaman. Please rate and subscribe us on your favorite podcasting app. You can find my personal social media account at Dazzism, and that's DODDSISM. You can find the DJ Blue at
I am the DJ Blue.
But until next time, boys and girls, remember,
there's always a next time.